If you or a family member have been hurt because of the careless actions of another person, call Walker Texas Lawyer. They'll work to get you the financial compensation and justice you deserve. They have 40 years of experience, and you don't pay unless you win. Call 713-881-9653 today for a consultation or go to walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me today. And guys, we got a big show. A really big show here for you today. But we got a very special guest host that's going to be here with us inside the Hall of Fame today, getting his champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. Let's bring him inside the hall right now. Let's get Maven inside on the hot seat.
What's up, Book?
Hey,
what's up, Brad?
How you feel, man? How you feel? You look good. You look good, man.
I'm always up for some champagne wishes. I'm always ready for them.
Caviar dreams, man.
Absolutely.
We got to get on at it, man. You look. I mean, you know when they tell, like the late, you look radiant. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. You still got that, the movie Life when Martin told Eddie, you need to, water the, flowers, to give them some exuberance. That's exuberance. That's what you got right there. I'm serious. You still look the same, man. You still smiling. How you feel, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. And just like in the movie Life, I carry a pocket full of rocks just so I can accurately count. No, Book, I'm doing good. And likewise, you still, not only do you still look amazing, but you still just have that personality that literally just exploded backstage, especially with someone like me coming in and just blazed the trail for me. You still have it. You haven't let any of your successes, stop you or even impede your desire to get more. So congratulations on everything you got, Book.
I'm always working, man. I'm always working. We got a saying on the show, all my life, grinding all my life.
Yeah, you're grinding all my life. I've been grinding all my life.
Slice, she got to roll the dice. That's what we all about here inside the Hall of Fame. I swear, man, I never think about the past a whole lot. I really don't. I've never been one to, think about the past and, the way it was, back in the day, stuff like that. Just because I'm still trying to do so much. Me and Brad, we out in Vegas a lot, covering the fights, and we're having so much fun doing that. We're doing the show and the podcast as well. And life is just fluid, with the wrestling school, the wrestling promotion, and then still doing stuff, with WWE NXT. It's AAA. I'm like hustling, bro. I'm like hustling. And the thing is, it was so easy for me, and that's what I'm getting close to, asking you a couple of questions, but it was so easy for me to walk away from the wrestling. I swear, man, it was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm at a stage right now in my life to where my retirement kick in next year, right? and one contemplates actually retiring. And I say, what would I do? I never thought I would get this far. I swear to God, I never thought I'd get this far where, I'm actually able, investments. Wow, it's kind of crazy. But for me, this stage of my life right now is so hard for me to want to walk away from what I'm doing now because it's so fun. I'm enjoying it so much. How much do you miss, that life being on the road?
Yeah. All right. I miss it, yes. But I know a man has to know his limitations. And you talk about you don't look back much. I heard a saying once, you can't drive a car looking through the rearview mirror. And I've always looked at, I'm trying to find what my next challenge is going to be. I think you're the same way. I'm happy with the life I've lived up to this point, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to achieve. And I have a goal set for what I'd like to achieve, but new goals, find me week in and week out. So I do miss the life. I miss backstage, man. I miss how the football players say they miss the locker room.
Yeah.
That's what I miss, and I don't miss airports. I don't miss rental cars. I don't miss hotels. I don't miss late night restaurants. Those stuff I could do without. But the time right before you go through the curtain and you see, you feel that reaction, whether positive or negative. I miss that. And then I miss being backstage with the guys, the laughing, the cutting up. That's definitely, because even if I go to like an indie show or a smaller show now, I see the younger guys that have it and they have the inside jokes that I'm not privy to.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit envious when when they have them.
Yeah. That's a couple of things. People always talk about is, the locker room, what it was really, really like, in the locker room.
Yeah.
You was one of those young guys that was coming up in the locker room, and you had guys in there like myself, you had guys in there like Bob Holly. We've heard so many stories about Bob Holly and, and how he was with young guys coming up. How from the tough enough thing all the way to you finally, won that thing to, getting on the roster and then actually having to go on the road. How tough was it really for you? Because you was like out there, you was all by yourself, man. You ain't had no buddy systems, no cliques and none of that kind of stuff. An inside guy pulling strings for you. How tough was it for you? Because I was listening to Rene Dupree talk about him being in the WWE at such a young age, how tough it was for him dealing with that part, the backstage locker room, not the ring, just the guys in the locker room. And the guys can be just like kids, you know how it is. But how tough was it for you?
It was the training and all the wrestling stuff aside, because that's just, if you don't have it in you to do that, then wrong business for you. But what the tough part was for me was just proving to all the other guys, not that I belonged, because time will tell if I belonged or not, but it was just that I deserved to be there, because I came in a different way. My first, I dare to say not many people's first match ever. My first match was on SmackDown with Taz. Book, you were my fourth match ever. Wow. Was you. And that's and knowing the way guys were going to view me, and you brought him up, Bob Holly. And here's what I can appreciate, because Bob gets the title of being a bully sometimes. That could not be further from the truth. Bob makes you earn your spot. And in that business, if you don't earn your spot, then you need to be doing something else. Bob makes you earn that. And I can appreciate that. I would say once I was on a full house show schedule, I think I did 3 weeks, day after day with Bob. And the maddest he ever got at me was for not hitting him hard enough. But at the end of my run with Bob, I had earned Bob's respect. which to this day now Bob and I are great. And it was almost kind of like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You know, like once I got past it, I earned Bob's respect. It was kind of like, all right, you belong here. Now it's just time to learn how to wrestle, you know. So
yeah, I tell you, when I first got to WWE and I got a chance to meet Bob Holly, he was always had that look on his face.
Yeah.
He always had that scowl and like he hadn't eaten or something, you know, and his wife had do it. No, I'm serious. That's the way it would look. And I remember one of the first times I really got close to Bob, I said, tonight, I hope I got you because I'm going to eat your ass up tonight. Yeah. So I can't wait to get you in the ring. And I just was dogging him. I was just dogging him all day. And it was almost like he thought I was crazy. I said, it's like being in prison. You know what I mean?
You take that prison mentality. Just,
up on the bunk all night, just sitting there looking. You know what I mean? Making sure. You know, everybody. This food it's Alka-Seltzer. Make it come in. We got to take a break. We got to take a break for a second. Stick around, guys. You're the Hall of Fame special guest host, Maven. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall.
Book, I don't have a clue how you're even funny in your advertisements, but you are. Chew it and do it. I'm sitting here dying. I'm sitting here just cracking up. I've never listened to an ad more intently than I just did.
Chew it and do it, man.
Yeah, and he's like taking me back in my head because he starts off telling a story. He's like, guys, remember when you was always ready? And I'm like, yeah, I do remember those days.
But hey, but you can attest to this. Look,
I'm strap a rocket to it, man. Look, you're talented, dude. You're talented.
Man, just stupid, man. That's all.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, just talking about being in jail, man. I learned a lot when I was in jail. A guy told me when I was in there, he told me, young blood, when you get out, you know, you don't want to come back here. He say, you know, if you act like it 9 times out of 10, people will believe it. And I took that, man. I was like, wow, you know, it just was a great concept. And I remember working for this guy, as Bruce Sarge was working at this warehouse. And he had a buddy who was an actor. And he came through. He used to come through all the time, just hanging out at the warehouse. And he told me, hey, man, I got some people that are going to be coming in town in this Chuck Norris movie, and I want you to go read these lines for it. And I said, man, I've never done that before. And he say, just go and try it. They never, they don't know that. And I went and read for that movie, and boom, a couple of weeks later, got a call from Paramount Pictures, and I got the role.
That's
awesome. And I was like, wow, and I from that day forward, I say, you just got to act like it. You got to make it feel like it. And that's been one of my greatest assets. So when young people out there, when you find yourself in that place, you don't actually have to know how to do it. You just have to act like you know how to do it. And if you do that very well, man, magic can happen. And I say that because I'm living proof.
My day job.
What were you laughing at, man?
I'm laughing because what you said could be applicable to our last ad. If you find yourself in a position, magic could happen. Just chew it and do it.
Chew it and do it.
Just chew
oh
it.
yeah, man.
Be ready.
Strap a rocket to it.
Strap a rocket on it. Go straight to the moon, man.
That's wrestling talk right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But what you were talking about. So my day job, I actually work on Wall Street now, and me and my owner of my capital firm, we laugh all the time because we think we're idiots, and we have a saying. We're like, man, fake it till we make it, because we have all these big companies that are coming wanting to do business with us, and I'm suited up and I look the part. And half the time I'm like, man, I don't have a clue. Like, I don't know. I'll find out. I'll find out for you. I'll get an answer. I'll get an answer for you. Yeah, they'll be asking. They'll be like, so what's your ROI look on that? Look like for the? I'm like, I don't know. Take it till you make it, brother.
I'll get back to you on that.
Looks good from my perspective. It looks real good from my perspective.
Absolutely. Our computer's down, but I'll get it out. I'll get back to you.
Oh my God, man. I know we got a lot of super chatters out there. This is the final week for the big contest. We got a big contest going on where somebody's going to win a big trip to Reality of Wrestling in December, Christmas Chaos show. All expenses paid by Reality of Wrestling. Actually, it's coming out of my pocket. It's coming. But we're going to make sure we're going to do something really, really cool. Drawing going to be closed off today, right, Brad?
Today's the last one.
It's the last day. So you super chatters, I know you're out there. Know you want to get inside the Hall of Fame and get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Just stick around. We got Maven in the house, y'all, and we just got to chop it up a little bit. I was my thing is like I was talking earlier, as far as I'm not like a past guy, like always thinking in the past. I know you want to get in there, Brad. I'm not one that want to get, thinking about the past a whole lot. And I was like, man, Brad and I, we was talking as far as, you and I and matches that we've had. And I'm like, man, I can't really remember, because I just didn't remember matches. You know what I mean? I'm not, until I go and watch it. So I had to go back and do a little research and pull it up, and I go, man, I beat the hell out of me.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
But I was just wondering, was that that experience, in the ring with me? Because what I noticed was the difference between that Maven at the beginning and the Maven at the end. The Maven at the end was just as big as I was on that night. He was. But how was that experience, actually getting in the ring with me? Because I know how it was for me when I got a chance to. But I don't know how big of a fan you was as a kid.
All right, I was a big fan of. I grew up in Virginia, and I watched Crockett Promotions. So I was a big fan of like NWA, big like the Horseman time. Like that was just my stuff. I didn't really watch. I would watch WWF like Saturday Night Main Event, but as far as like watching the programs, I grew up watching TBS and those studio shows they would put on.
Yeah.
Now, as for watching you, fortunately for me, I grew up with two older brothers. I was the youngest of two older brothers who beat the hell out of me growing up. But they taught me a good lesson. And what they taught me was keep your mouth shut and just learn something throughout anything. And eventually one day you'll be where you want to get. And then you'll be the one that'll be able to pass on information. But working with you, I think we only worked together that one time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in maybe we were in the ring in like battle royals or something like that.
It was a tag match we had when we worked together against Matt Hardy and Mark Henry.
See, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember because you were my fourth match. Shoot, I didn't even have wrestling gear at the time. But I was such a fan, and I was just happy because I knew the opportunity I had. I knew that when they started Tough Enough, there was no guarantee. Like nowadays, you go on a reality show, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode.
Yeah.
We made $300 a week during then. But what they did offer us was an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so being in the ring with you on my fourth match ever, thinking the year before I was a school teacher, watching you every week, honestly, you could have laid it in a little harder and I still would have been happy. I still would have been honored because you know why? As soon as we got back behind that curtain, I still remember looking at you because it was in December, it was around Christmas. And I still remember looking at you and I was like, was everything okay for you? And you went, hey, man, it was great, man. And when I got you to like just be happy with working with me, like, man, I had a great Christmas after that book.
Awesome, man.
Like seriously, like I was honored. I was honored to be on there. Just like the other day when you called me and asked me to be on the show. How long did it take me to say yes?
No time. No time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, man, that drop kick was sweet though. The drop kick.
The drop kick was great, man.
All right, can I got time for a 30-second funny story about that?
Man.
All right, so literally the only move I had. So I'm in WrestleMania 18 wrestling Gold Dust. Go out there. We set the whole match up, hardcore title. Whole match is built around with him having the gold painted trash can. And the spot was he was gonna stagger turn into it. I hit him with the drop kick, and that would go into our finish. But I threw the drop kick, and I don't know how, because he's holding a trash can. I missed him by 1.5 feet. And what made it worse was I get out of the ring. I roll, finish the match, go backstage thinking 72,000 Toronto Sky Dome. I just wrestled. I hope people don't realize I missed the drop kick. Yeah. What am I going to do at this point? Get behind Gorilla. Vince lays into me. Vince is like, you got one move, and you missed it. And I was like, oh, God. Unbelievable. You got one. And to this day, I still laugh. You got one move. And you missed it.
That's all you got. You got that drop kick.
You got one. You got one move.
No, we were popping because we were watching y'all's match from Raw. It was December 21st, Raw in 01. And you hit the drop kick once. And it's beautiful. I go, oh, Book, there's the drop kick. You go for it a second time, and Book just swats you out of the air. I'm like, Book, that's his only move, man.
That's it.
Don't bury him on his move.
That's it.
I've never seen somebody get swatted.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, hell, I was happy I got that much in.
And when I was researching, the reason why we had that match because I was mad at Maven because he laughed at me because of the Booker T Stone Cold Steve Austin grocery store fight.
Yo, still, honestly, for everything that I've seen in wrestling, and you asked about how big of a fan I was. In college, me and my roommates, I lived in a baseball house. We had 2 TVs set up. It was before the days of flat screens, the big cabinet televisions. Yeah. And we would watch Monday Night Raw and then Nitro on top of it. And Book, still to this day, that grocery store scene, that's my favorite segment in any wrestling show of all time. You at the end of it saying, I'm going to get you is the funniest damn thing. It's just and the way you and Steve just work together. And hell, I want to know what supermarket said. Yeah, come in here and tear this place up.
That I know we got to take a break, but that that finish right there was, me crying. I'm saying, I'm gonna get you. That was the same way I used to be when my brother used to, like beat me up, and my mother was at work, and I used to be telling him, I'm gonna tell mama.
Yeah.
Buddy, you.
I'm gonna tell mama.
So that's what I had to draw back on.
Did your mom have the same rule my mom had outside, just not in the house?
No, man. I was the baby in the family. I wasn't supposed to get touched.
Mine was fine with me getting touched as long as I didn't knock a vase.
When my mama went to work, everything went out the window.
Yeah.
Everybody used to beat my ass. I'm serious.
Likewise.
That just was the game. We had to take a break. Hey, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey, guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it, so no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in a row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, Book.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Boom.
I'm downloading the Game Time app right now, boy. Now use promo code Booker.
Make sure you use the code, man. Blue Chew, everything. Make sure you use the code at your checkout. Get that.
I got a lot of shit to do when I get off here. I can tell you what.
I got some work. Put some
work.
work.
A lot of stuff I got to get.
Oh my God, man.
Book talked about. Sorry, Book. I didn't mean to cut you off. Book talked about how he and I go to Vegas, and the last time we were in Vegas, we were going to get something to eat. And your name came up. I was talking to Booker about your channel, and I said, man, I was listening to Maven talk about his channel. He said something really smart. And correct me if I'm wrong here. You said there were a bunch of wrestling channels that would they had YouTube channels about wrestling, but you were doing you were making YouTube videos instead of just clipping out wrestling content. That was the way you came up with your channel and the idea. Tell people kind of the genesis of that and what you mean by that.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, and by the way, like if I was a white guy, I would want your hair. Just throwing that out there. Like that's the best like coif I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how you get it to stay there, but that's what I would want.
BlueChew.com.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah. Well done.
Makes everything stand up.
So the genesis of it, I'm not a name like Booker. I'm not a name like Austin. I'm not a name like Haker. So I know for me, a podcast would never work. I would have 120 reliable weekly listeners, and that'd be about it. And most guys aren't a Booker, a Steve, a Taker. So we better find other ways if we want to be out there. I had a guy contact me And it was funny. I was doing Matt Cardona's podcast, and I was like, yeah, I had some guy named Mr. Beast contact me, and they were like, what? And I'm like, nah, it's not him. But I had a YouTuber contact me, and he threw a pitch out to me. He said, listen, he's like, wrestlers do it wrong. Wrestlers put out a podcast and then they talk about what interests them, and listeners don't care. Listeners don't care about that time you were riding through Peoria and you stopped at a Perkins and they dropped your food on the floor. Listeners don't care. He's like, what I want to do is we're going to make YouTube videos that deal with wrestling, with everything from the subject, from the title through the thumbnail. I'm taking these ridiculous thumbnail pictures that I'm like, God, like I wouldn't do this. Like I wouldn't put this in my album on my phone for nothing, but they work. What can I say? And that's the whole genesis of it, and even touch on subjects that maybe other guys won't touch on. But the one thing I do, and the one thing I stressed to him when we started, I said, I'm not going to out anybody, and I'll out myself. But if I'm going to tell a story, it's going to be my story. Like I can't tell Booker's story. I can't tell Randy Orton's story. I can't tell one of their stories. I can tell my stories, and I'll tell mine. But I don't want to be another site that's just dogging people or bad mouthing the WWE or what the hell. I watch the product now, and they can't do anything right. Yeah. Incorrect. So, and we agreed. We did about a month of planning, and then, it's just been a constantly evolving thing. It blows my mind that it's as successful as it is. But I mean, I'm saying this to Booker, who is got a gazillion more followers, but
no, you started off and you done it the right way. And
yeah,
thing is, you likable. People gravitate.
Radiant.
Yeah,
he's radiant. He's very radiant.
Exuberant. Yeah. I'm serious. And people like that. I mean, you talk about that's one thing that I hate today is, and I talk to Brad about it all the time, is when someone is telling somebody else's story.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's not your story to tell.
Yeah.
That if that person is not talking about that, that's not something that you should even remotely even be thinking. And I see that so much today where these guys are having those kind of, and I'm like, okay. And what I don't get about it is it just make you a person that, after all these years, if I would have never heard that, I would have never thought that way about you. And the reason I say that is because I go back to the story with Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff and I, we go back all the way to WCW.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff is someone who watched my back and made sure that I was pretty much protected in WCW. And then when the Dark Side of the Ring came out,
yeah,
and they was talking about it, and they was talking about they had a vote on who should be the champion, and unanimously everyone said Booker T should be the champion. But Hulk Hogan was coming back, and Hulk wanted the title, and Eric Bischoff was going to roll with Hulk and what he wanted, not with what I wanted, even after a unanimous vote. And I go, wow, I never thought that about Eric Bischoff. I thought this guy was there protecting me. Yeah. I say, if I wouldn't have never saw that on Dark Side of the Ring, I wouldn't have never known. And I go, wow. So it just totally could ruin the way you feel about the way you felt about someone after all those years.
Yeah, 100%. It's hard to watch some of those. Like I watched the episode with Candido, and then I'll go talk to some of the guys who was in the ECW with him, and they're like that. Yeah, some things were they got accurate, but then it's just some things they totally miss on. And like, have you seen the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
What a great.
There's some things that are accurate, and then there's other things that I'm just like that was never my experience.
Yeah,
and I never wanted to be one of those people telling a story that isn't authentic to me. That's it.
Well, The Wrestler, I think that story was the story of the wrestler that went all the way to the top, but just wouldn't wouldn't leave. What I always say is, if you don't know how to change with the times will pass you by.
Absolutely.
That's I think what the wrestler represented.
Adapt or die.
I saw so many guys like that when I came up. So when I went and watched The Wrestler, I was with Charmel, and the final scene came where the Ram went up to the top rope, you know, and he got himself together, and he was getting ready to come off the top, you know, and you know the fans are going, you know, and then boom, he comes off, and it go dark, and the credits start rolling.
Yeah.
A tear rolls down my eye, and I go, baby, let's go.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for me too. He needed that one last pop. And Book, don't think I didn't see what you just did. Book wanted to get those guns in. He
get his arms up. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him.
I noticed the same thing.
Tell him, Book. That's 225 pounds of twisted steel and
open scoping, grave digging, destruction, jack.
But yeah, I watched The Wrestler, and it was tough. Like, it was tough. And I knew when he went up and got that one last pop that that's what he was looking. That's what fueled him. And I definitely understood that. I'll be honest with you. The fact that I never got to a point in my career like you, Book, it made moving on a whole hell of a lot easier. It made being able to adapt and to take on new challenges and new forms of it, whether it be entertainment or in the secular world, or it made it a lot easier, because you know what? Hey, maybe if I did headline 4 or 5 WrestleManias, it might be a whole hell of a lot harder to leave and not have that rush anymore. So yeah. Because trust me, on my channel, I get reminded all the time that I was just a mid-carder. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you something, bro. People tell me I was a mid-carder.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I get it. So you can't worry about what people say on social media. The best scene in that movie, The Wrestler, for me was when he was working at the grocery store, and then he was getting himself together, and then he was getting ready to walk down the hallway, and then he could hear the people going, Ram.
Yeah.
Ram. And then he gets to the curtain, you know, and they still hollering Ram, and then he opens it and then walk out and go to work.
Go stock shelves.
Yeah, no, he went to go cut the meat. You know, he was working at the deli. And I was like, God, man, that was just it was so real. It was so freaking real. And I gave those guys big props, because it was even one scene in the movie, because I come from that era to where, you know, it was a lot of drug use. Yeah. Guys were getting hooked on those somas and stuff like that. And that's what it kind of represented, a lot of that world that I actually seen. And it was one scene in the movie where the guy had some pills, and he had his pill bottle, and before he opened it, he shook it. You know, and the guys back in the day, they used to know how many pills they had.
Yeah, they gauge it.
Just by the shake. Yeah. You know, I mean, we get low. It was one of those type of things, you know. So I swear, man, that movie was so accurate, and Mickey Rourke played a hell of a role.
And another amazing thing about that movie, like, wrestling is kind of hot right now, like, to do other stuff other than, you know, the big three. This was back in like 2009ish, when there wasn't much other than, you know, WWE. There wasn't many people touching wrestling around that time.
Yeah.
So for them to make a big budget Hollywood movie at that time for an untested market, I mean, that's a set of brass ones that I commend.
No,
and Mickey Rourke got in such good shape.
Did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job. He played a hell of a role. I mean, he was so authentic as far as the wrestler go of the 80s. I swear, I watched it, and that's why for me, kind of like gets goosebumps just think, because it was such a good produced and directed movie. Everybody's role was so you know, authentic and so true to the way it really is, when you go from a major league to the minor league, especially when he go ask the kid down the street, you want to play Nintendo? and the kid go, have you ever played Call of Duty? He goes, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like he got to a certain point
and
then never
wanted to leave.
Stayed there.
Went to stay in 1985 forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those type of deals, man. We got to no, go ahead. We got
quick, going back to with the channel and Brad, this will answer a little bit more. I was a little bit like that. It took a lot for me. It took me a while to embrace social media and to embrace, just the but I was like, man, I'm too old. I've always said it, I've always said, like, if they would have had a Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff when, like, during our time, like in the early 2000s, I'd have 10 bazillion followers if I could have had that.
I'd have lost my mind if we had all that back then. Man.
I've said it before. I consider myself like the last guy to get polio the week before the vaccine came out. Like, it just came out just way too soon. But I'm trying to embrace it now.
Hey, man, you living your best life right now. We got to take another quick break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame, man. Stick around. We'll be back in a momento. You dig it, sucker!
You are listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Out. When you come to the WWA, this is what you're going to have to face right here. It's the GI Bro.
Well, let me tell you something, Steve, baby. I've been noticing all these big guys like the Super Collider, the Warrior, this Thor. Well, let me... First things first, man. I got a new haircut. Would you like to see it, man?
Yeah, I want to see it. All right.
G.I. Bro. G.I. Bro is my name, and beating people up is my game. Look in my eyes. Everybody in the WWA, I just want you to know one thing. The G.I. Bro is ready, willing, and able to take on all comers in the WWA. That means everybody. Thor, Cherokee Warrior, Super Collider, mainly because I seen what you did. You came out, you tore the sign up, you ripped it out of my little private's hand, and you stripped it in two, man. That's something you don't do. You don't mess with my little privates, man. It's a war. Let me tell you, when I get you in the square circle, when I get you in the combat zone, when I get you in the ganking zone, that's when I'm going to declare World War III on you and take you clean out on the team, man. Ah!
What year was that book? 90 what?
92.
That's
I'm sorry, 90. Yeah, 90.
The Kid and Play, the Gumby fade you had going on. Wow.
You got to know how to change with the times, man. I said, if I still had that flat top fade, that little mustache, we wouldn't be talking. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. that was a great time in my career, man. I was just getting started. I was hyped up. I was doing something I never imagined, I dreamt of doing, and I say, wow, it's
I'm gonna disagree with you. You would still be doing that, even with that haircut. And you want to know why? You used to have a saying, and I stole it from you, and I have used it for 20 years. You used to, and I don't know if you still say it. You remember you used to say, the cream always rises to the top.
I still say it on a regular basis.
Do you really? Oh, I love it. I love it. I remember hearing you say it, and I use it too.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. I'm just having fun, man. Ever since that day, man, I haven't worked since that day.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell people. When I start wrestling, that's when I stop working. And doing this has been a dream come true that I have never had, but it's been a monster. And the thing is, I'm still having so much fun with this life thing. That's what it's about, trying to stay motivated with life, because I always say also, life is the hardest thing you're ever going to deal with in life. You wake up every day, you got to look in the mirror, and you got to, boom, you got to go to work, you got to take care of business. And it's not going to get any easier. So for me, man, I just embrace it. I swear to God.
Absolutely. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right. So when we were training, Steve Austin came by the house and he said, they don't pay me to wrestle, they pay me to travel. And I remember, because this was back when, to me, wrestling was like, man, wrestling was hard. Like, it was just, and I don't mean the physical aspect, I mean like the psychological aspect. And then somewhere around the 2005, 2000, right when they released me, I remember it made the transition to where the wrestling was the easy part and the traveling became what sucked. When was it for you that you didn't worry about the match you were having? You knew you were going to have a good match. That, because I still remember being backstage for Monday Night Raw, a 6-minute match, and I'd go nuts trying to remember spots and everything, and I'd be stressed out, and I'd be like, gosh, why am I doing this? I hate this feeling.
Yeah.
And then it just went away.
Yeah, you know what? I never really had that feeling. I always felt so comfortable going out to the ring. That part was always easy for me. The travel was the hardest part of the game for me, and I felt perhaps I got paid for the travel. I hear guys, today, and they say, wrestlers, they should have an off season, and this and that and whatnot. And it's just not the off season type of business. Nah. It's a warrior sport, and you know what you sign up for when you get into it. And you're gonna go as long as you can until you drop. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's just like that with every sport.
Yeah.
Like that. It's just like that. But they may be taking a little bit more time off. They may, but they may not be traveling nowhere nearly as much as we are. They may be in the gym training 3 months out leading up to a fight. They may just fight on that one night. You don't see just like John Jones, he just got knocked out for 8 months for tearing his pec in training. Yeah. So the guys don't see that kind of stuff. So I think it equals out as far as, for me, the wrestling was easy. I was getting paid to be on the road all the time. And I remember, I think it was Beyond the Mat.
Where 99, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where Jake the Snake was talking, and he said, he was, having a conversation with his daughter, and Jake told his daughter, when you sign that WWF contract, baby, you are obligated to work every day. And I was like, wow. When he said that, I was like, wow. But it's true. It's true. I tell a story when I was in WCW, man, it was all beautiful, man. It was like champagne wishes, caviar dreams, baby. In the mail on the regular, I do house shows here and there, but boom, I got a weekend off here, weekend off there. Had a nice little 22-footer, little 22-foot boat, I'm getting out, go every now and then, whatnot. And then in 2001, I signed with the WWE, and I went to work. Yeah. And then one day I say, I want to go fishing. And I get my boat and I took it to get, the inspection sticker on it, and it said 2006. And I'm not lying. I had been working my ass off, and I didn't even realize it.
Forgot about it.
I forgot who I was. I just worked. Yeah. I'm serious.
Well, I heard Bill Parcells say, if you leave the huddle in football, someone's going to replace you. Someone's going to go in your spot. And wrestling is that to a T. You want an off season? I guarantee you, while you're sitting at home for those 3 months, they're going to be developing another star, and you can be forgotten about very quickly in that business. Well, so you better be out there grinding.
Well, I look at it that way, but I look at it a different way also. When a wrestler's body get out of tune from being in the ring all the time, that could lead to even more trouble. That 3 months sitting at home, letting that calcium build back up, and then going reopen it, that scar, that tissue and whatnot, and then taking those bumps, getting back used to that shock all over again after being off for 3 months. That could be worse for you. I would imagine that could be worse for you than actually being on the road on a regular. That's just my opinion. That's just my look here. And I always say, I could be wrong. But I don't think so. Oh, that go ahead, Brad. I see you.
Oh no. I guess.
Hey guys, before we even get a little bit further, reality of wrestling going down this weekend. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out. The new arena is going to be packed. 9,300? 9,300 Emmett. We just got a new building. 9,300 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway. 7 o'clock bell time, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. The main event. That main man, my main man, Kenny King, the amazing Kenny King, stepping inside the Reality Wrestling Arena, and he's going to be taking on the Underground King. Oh, yes, Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, is going to. Hey, and guess what? The Heat is going to be in the house. Not Harlem Heat, the Heat is going to be in the house along with my main man, Gaspar. I just got to get this plug out there. Q, if you're out there anywhere, show up. Show up. I got something for you. I better not even say it on there. I better not say it on there. All right, but let's keep this thing. How many super chatters we got over there?
We have a lot, and a lot of questions for Maven that I want to get to. But before we get to the super chats, Maven, I did want to ask you this, because I was somebody who I watched that initial season of Tough Enough back when I was younger. And when
I'm sorry.
No, I liked it, man. I thought it was so cool that there was wrestling on MTV as a kid. Yeah. You know, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And then you come in, and I was a Maven fan, man. I really enjoyed watching you, especially in the early years. And when did you, though, this is my question, when did you feel like, because we were talking about this on the show, that I think the way you came in, and Book alluded to this, there might have been a little professional jealousy from some people, like, hey, man, who's this kid? He gets all this TV time, comes right in, getting the spotlight put on him. When was it that you felt like the locker room went, okay, Maven's one of ours?
Yeah, and understandable.
Sure.
I knew going into it, it was an uphill battle. I knew I was going to have to win guys over. And I knew the only way to do that was keeping your mouth shut, go out there and learn, just listen to what they say. And eventually you let your personality take over and let guys know I'm here for all the right reasons. I would say it probably took about 6 to 8 months of continuously being on the road. Now, the first couple months when I wrestled, I told you I wrestled Taz 3 times. I wrestled Book that December 21st. And then they took me off, and sent me to developmental until I came back. And once I did the Taker spot and Rumble, and move forward with house shows and obviously working Bob, I think I got Taker on my side and I got Bob Holly on my side. And those are 2 great guys you want to have, saying, hey, this guy, he's got something. I don't know what it is yet, but he's got something. And it was probably 6 to 8 months before I would say probably 90% of the locker room viewed me as one of theirs and not just a kid from MTV and Tough Enough. And subsequently, because you're going to be found out really quick. If you're a fraud, I don't care if you're a fraud in any business, you're going to be found out. If you're a fraud in wrestling, it's going to come out. And it's going to come out and it's going to hurt when it comes out. But I think guys knew I think guys knew I was there for the right reasons. And Book, I now see that most of my one-liners stem off of what you say, because what you just said earlier, I've said for years. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, just not today. Just not today.
Hey, Rob, look here.
I had a blast, and just being able to win guys like Book over. It was, yeah.
Hey, man, I know we got to take a quick break. I want to come back, and I know we got some super chatters. But I want to talk to you about not wanting to go to the ring and practice. Yeah. And that might have got you a little heat and might have rubbed things the wrong way a little bit. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a momento, man. Stick around.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Hey, Book, our next sponsor of the Hall of Fame podcast is AG1, the daily foundational nutritional supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day, and I know you're drinking it too.
Yeah, man, I received the box in the mail, and I said, what is this? And it said AG1. And let me give you a little testimony. I'm a coffee drinker. I've been a coffee drinker every morning for about 25 years. And I drink a big cup of coffee on the way to the airport, and I get on my flight and I still go to sleep. So I realized coffee is not helping me at all. So I say, let me try the AG1. I stopped drinking coffee literally 2 weeks ago. And I drink the AG1 in the morning, first thing. And the first thing I want to do is get in the gym and train. The body transformation has been unbelievable. The energy I have going into my daily routine has been off the chain. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer in AG1.
And you know, Book, for me, I was sick of taking multivitamins every day, and I wanted something that was an all-in-one. And with AG1, it's just a scoop in my water every morning. I mix it up, and it's a foundational nutritional supplement that delivers comprehensive nutrients to the whole body. And for me, the benefits of AG1, I can tell you I have more energy, I have better digestion, better gut health, I have more support for mental clarity and focus. I'm locked in for the whole day since I've been drinking AG1.
And they say LeBron James spent $1.5 million a year on his body. You don't have to do that, guys. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Guys, go to drinkag1.com/Booker. That's drinkag1.com/Booker. Check it out. Welcome back. It's out to Hall of Fame, man. I was listening to you talk. I know we got some super channels, and let's get to them here in a minute. I was listening to you talk as far as not wanting to go to the ring and practice, and that might have got you a little heat. I remember we used to be on the road on the house shows. You know, after those house shows, you got a long drive, sometimes 300 miles or whatever, and they used to always, tell guys, say, stick around. Ever since I got to WWE, I would always say, stick around, watch the matches, guys. You might learn something. All right. It's, guys, and then, guys don't do it. And then they have a meeting on Monday and, guys, this guy's leaving. We need you guys to stick around and watch the matches. And you might learn something. And every time they used to have one of those meetings, because I used to, as soon as the show was over with, as soon as my match was over, I'd get my car and just take off. Yeah. And every time they would have one of those meetings, they say, guys, stick around and watch the matches. And I say, well, they didn't say Booker, so they obviously wasn't talking about
And technically, you're not wrong.
So every time they would have one of those meetings, if they didn't actually say my name, in my mind, I would automatically say, they didn't say me.
They're not talking about me.
I mean, I think in any court of law, I think you're winning in a court of law there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, man. Talk to me
about
what
it was. What it was for me, like, I stuck around and watched most of the matches because I was riding with Orton. And after I'd wrestled first, second, or third on Raw, hell, he was wrestling last, so I was forced to do that. Where I got in my trouble and where I got my heat book was Johnny Ace, the day of Raw. That ring, we get there at 1, that ring's already set up. Yeah. Johnny would he would say, Maven, you need to be on the ring, getting better. And listen, I don't know who said it, but excuses are tools of the weak and incompetent. I get it. And this isn't an excuse, but I just I didn't want to, going to the gym and, getting a workout in seemed a whole hell of a lot better of an idea. Sitting in the rafters and BSing with the guys and, having fun and telling jokes. Hell, I think one time me and you went and played golf.
Yeah.
That seemed like a hell of a lot better idea than rolling around with Fit Finley. I'll tell you what. Yeah. I didn't feel like working on chin locks and hammer locks and snap mares.
Oh,
2 hours before my match on Raw, but that led to me not growing and not getting better. And as obviously, I wish I could go back and do a lot of things in life over. That's not how life works. Looking back, I wish I would have been out in the ring, just getting better. Just making myself better. Maybe getting, I don't know, a second move. Who knows? Maybe I would have had a drop kick. Yeah, man, yeah. Maybe
something to add to the repertoire.
Then I'd have been like, I learned another one. I
have two.
So for me, it's just I just wish I would have just tried to, because I was a kid, I thought my spot was secure. Wrong. It wasn't. Wrong.
I tell you, it's so different now, with the video game stuff. Like when I first came to WWE, I was a big video gamer, and I used to have like this little portable set.
Yeah.
And I
PlayStation.
The PlayStation.
I remember it. Yeah.
And I was one day I was in the locker room, and I flipped it up, and I was playing some Madden, big, and D'Lo Brown. He came in, and he goes, "Hey, Book, you mind if I play around with you?" I go, "Heck yeah, man, come on down, sit down." Yeah. So him and I would start playing, and we may have gotten not even a couple of minutes into the game, and Michael Hayes walked up behind us, and Michael Hayes go, "Oh, you guys playing video games?" And then I go, "Yeah, we've been just playing a game of Madden." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he walked off. No, and he walked off. And I swear to God, D'Lo's gonna hear this, and he's gonna know it's 100% true. D'Lo said, "Look, I gotta go." I was like, "What the hell is going on around here?" I guess I'm the new guy. I'm the new guy. You know, I mean, I'm about to get heat playing you. No one never said anything to me about it, but it was definitely.
D'Lo came at it the same as me. Like, yeah, you weren't going to get heat. The same way Randy, when I was riding with Orton wasn't going to get heat. Yeah. You know, we were 30 minutes late to the building. Yeah. If we decided to get a workout in after catering, but I sure as hell was and did. That's you know. Yeah. But I own my baggage. Nobody forced me to do anything. I did it all myself. I wish I could go back and undo some of those. I wish I would have just went, and got, just tried to get better as a wrestler.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, man. I mean, 2020 is hindsight. We all do that. Definitely would. Yeah. I know we want to get some super chatters in. Let's open up the lines, man. Let's open up the lines. Let's get
we got a ton. We got a ton.
Super chats in the house, man.
All right, this first one says from the Dark Knight Returns. Says Maven, buddy, looking real jacked. No bread, no water, only meat.
Yeah. You know what? That's another question. I was listening, and you were saying you don't work out anymore. You don't touch weights. And you just do the yoga, the DDP yoga, and stretch and whatnot. Yeah. What was the idea of not using weights anymore?
It's not that I don't really. It's not that I'm against that. It's just this is gonna sound stupid, Book. Like this is gonna sound, but this is how my mind works.
I'm just wondering. I've been
and it's just how my mind works. Like the fact that I know I can't be all roided up anymore and look the way I used to look. I'm neutral or fifth. I don't have those middle gears. So it's like if I went to the gym and started working out again, I would find myself trying to find some Anavar and a couple months of test, or maybe some growth hormone. I just know me. That's how I work. And with my, obviously, I'm sure your back and body hurts you. Mine does too. I have found a stretching routine. It takes me about an hour a day, and it keeps my body feeling pretty damn good. And I know that's portion of my life is me being just jacked. It's just done. I'm not going to be like that anymore. I don't know if I can do it halfway. So instead, I've given myself to just trying to be as flexible and as stretch as much as possible, just because I know how gravity works and I know how time works. My back's not going to get better. So I'm just trying to just help it. So I'm 46 right now. In 10 years, when I'm 56, it's not even worse.
Yeah.
Book, all of us don't have your genetics, buddy. I know we share the same last name, but if I took my shirt off right now, I'm not taking my shirt off standing next to you. That's for sure.
I just came from the doctor. The doctor said you're in good shape. So hey, man, I appreciate it, man. But keep the super chats rolling.
Here's our next one. This is from Vanilla Manila. Maven, do you have any interaction with Jonathan Coachman? Are you too close? I feel like you should do a video together, Booker 2.
Being Coachman? Being Coachman? Being Coachman? Being Coachman? Being Coachman? We're not going to be doing any videos anytime. I like Coachman. Let's just say that. I like Coachman. He's good people. He's good people. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna go no further than that, because then it'll be all over the internet tomorrow if I say anything, But I like. What's your relationship with Coach?
I mean, I don't really have a relationship now. I mean, I wouldn't say we were ever close. We were always cordial, and I like Coach a lot, and I was happy. I know he moved on, went to ESPN, doing the golf stuff now. Yeah. Coach is one of those guys that, I mean, he's amazing. You put him in front of a camera, and he's just silver-tongued devil. Yeah. But as far as like knowing what Coach is up to and everything, I haven't spoke to Coach in years.
I tell you what, just never tell a story around Coach, because if you caught a 20-pound alligator gar, he just caught a whale.
Oh, he's a topper. He's a topper. Is that what you're saying?
Bro, he's gonna top you.
He's a topper. Yeah.
Let me give you, I know we gotta take more super chats, but I gotta give this one Coach story that he had told me. This is gonna be a good one. You're gonna love this one. Coach said they was out of the strip club in Houston, and and he was talking to this chick, and the chick, they were in Houston. And The Rock was talking to this chick. And The Rock said, the chick asked, where's Jonathan Coachman?
Oh, Lord. We have another.
So that's like going to Smith and Walensky and asking if they can run and grab you a Whopper. Yeah, no, I don't want the filet.
No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
If you got somebody in the back cooking a hot dog, I'll take that.
I think those were the best ones. Those were the best stories ever.
Wow.
Casanova.
Wow.
We got
the funny part is he probably believes it. He probably talked himself into it being true.
You want to take another one here, book?
Yeah.
All right, this one is
oh my God, man.
From the Willmeister. Everyone is saying The Rock's new wax sculpture looks like Vin Diesel, but my first thought was that it looked like Maven. Would you agree?
I saw Maven posted a photo with him in the wax posted. That's another question. I know we got to take a break here in like a minute. But do you think that may have held you back because you did look so much like The Rock?
Yeah, you know what? It probably got my foot in the door, but then probably held me back. So it was probably a catch-22. But listen, hey, every blessing has its little burdens. I'll take it, and I get all the time, no matter what I do in the wrestling world, people are always like, you're trying to be The Rock. And I'm not. But then again, I think of it this way. They could, no one's saying you're trying to be like Savio Vega, so they're putting me in good company. And I love, no offense to Savio, but if there's one guy that you can, be attributed to being similar to, I'll take him. Yeah. No one's being like, you're trying to be like King Kong Bundy. I'll take it.
Hey, man.
And that's as close to a wax figure as I'm ever going to get. So
You'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I just saw that Booker T clip that promo. When I first went to Japan at that time, they were calling me over there, Eddie Murphy. You Eddie Murphy. we got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
That's a true story. That's not allegedly.
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar where in Boston.
Somewhere, I can't remember where it was.
And Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And he and Knobs. What happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in a bar. And the thing is, They probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played Django. Oh, that was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
Well, they both look kind of alike.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Wait a minute, is that true? Did Knobs really beat up Private Ryan?
That's the alleged truth. I don't know.
Was that before Tom Hanks got him? Tom Hanks and all them saved him, or I've never heard that story.
No, it was in a bar back in the WCW days.
Holy cow!
No, that's a true story. That's a true story. Every time you play that, it make me. They do look alike.
Yeah,
they don't look alike at all.
They do look a little bit alike, man. Come on, you know that.
I'd never heard that story. That's a great story.
Oh man,
look, let me ask you a real quick question before you get to the super chats. The one thing that I've noticed in my YouTube page that's been successful is people comment on my ability to tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what people love about you? Because like I told you, you're doing a Blue Chew commercial earlier. I'm glued to my seat. You were just telling that story, and I was literally glued to my seat. Like, is your storytelling ability, has that helped you get to where you are?
I talk to young people about that, and I learned it over the years. But I remember going to this class WWE had made me take when I first got there, and it was like an 8-hour course. And I was like, man, I've been in the business 12 years. Why am I doing this? And then about 3 hours in, I was like, oh man, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was really working my mind as far as how to think and. When we, you just say, for instance, doing an interview or whatnot, or when we're doing a promo, how to formulate your thought, how to be able to, pivot and be able to tell a little bit of a story, always be able to, animate the story and make people feel, because when people are watching, they got to feel a certain way. And you're really good with that. You make people feel good when you're telling your story. You're not like like I said, you ain't got a fucking axe to grind or anything. It's like, even with the guys that you say, okay, like the one that I saw you do with the photos, what about this guy? Well, this guy, even if you had beef with the guy, you still know how to make you having beef with a guy sound good. And at the end of the day, it seemed like it just was two guys, more than anything, and that's what I always, try to do with this stuff is, try to create good stories. Me and Brad, when we first started this show, we say it's got to be a show. It just can't be two guys talking. Our audience got to be able to have fun, as well as they got to get paid, man, because somebody's going to be heading to a reality of wrestling, Christmas chaos going down. So you got to be able to do that kind of stuff right there.
hell of a transition. Really hell of a segue.
Really good. Well, yeah, we do have more super chats here to get to, Book. Let's get to a few of them here.
Oh man,
this comes from Hit.
Is that Euro or is that?
I don't know what that is.
What is that with a P? Where does that come from?
Maven works on Wall Street. What kind of currency?
What kind of currency is that, man? Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh my God. Hey, again. Hey, I'll find out. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
I'm gonna figure out what that ROI is.
My internet's down right now, but I'll get back to you.
My system's not working. I don't know what happened. Hit Vinnie Mac with a bedpan. Yeah, what says Maven, Book, and Brad in Booker's words? Looking real good.
Good. You're looking real good. Good. Looking real good.
Let's see. This one is Joshua Lyung, or I don't know how you say the last name. Maven, been your biggest fan ever since you were on Tough Enough. I'm upset you don't like your theme song. It's fire. Wish you used the other theme, Memory by Mercy Drive, you were supposed to use.
Yeah, like that's, I mean, Book, did you have any say over your music?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
When I came to WCW, I definitely requested it. And then when I was in WWE, they gave me I had to go do this rap song. Can you dig it? Yeah. I hated it. I hated that song because I never wanted to come out to a rap song. And they made me use that for about 2 months. And I went to Vince and I said, Vince, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I said, I need my music back in order to get the magic back. And he actually granted me the wish of having my music throughout the remainder of my career.
Yeah. You see, in just the same way, like if I would have went to Vince with that, there's a chance I might have been fired on the spot.
That's true. You know,
yeah,
I had a little clout by that time, though. I had a little clout.
absolutely.
You know, you got to.
Because I didn't like my music. And everybody, like if I get asked the Taker question, my music is always the second question people ask me because I outright just did not like that song. I used to stand in Gorilla, and you know how you're back there pouring water on your head.
Yeah.
You're getting pumped, and whenever my music would go off, I'd be like, it'd be like the biggest letdown. It'd be like the reverse of Blue Chew. Whatever the reverse of that is, that's what that music was to me. And it hurts people's feelings so bad that I hated it.
My music always hyped me up, man. I needed it to actually do my thing, I think. But keep it rolling, Brad.
Your theme was good, though. I did like your theme. Ty Marshall says, "What's up, guys? My question to Maven: when you were told you were going to beat The Undertaker for the Hardcore Championship on SmackDown, what was Taker's reaction? Hope everyone's having a good day."
Honestly, I think he wanted to just get rid of that damn belt. Like, obviously, Taker at that point, he doesn't need a belt of any sort to get himself over. I think it was more of a pain because during that time he was working. I mean, they're not going to put any of the main guys in a Hardcore Championship storyline. It's just not going to happen. So he was working guys, guys that were in a bigger position than where I was at the time, but still not guys at the top of the food chain. So I think he was happy to get rid of it. I think he was just ready to be done with being the Hardcore Champion at that time. He could not have been more gracious. But, hey, and it was fine with me. Like, obviously, he wasn't going to take a pinfall with my drop kick. That's when The Rock had to come out and rock bottom him. So, which I understood.
Hey, bro.
I understood.
A win's a win. A win's a win.
Hey, absolutely. It's in the record books the same.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
Our next one comes from our friend Callie Toenail. What's up, Callie? Maven, are you a regular watcher? If so, what is your favorite storyline right now, and where would you like to see it go? Who's in your fave 5? Do you watch the product regularly?
Nah, no, at all. And here's why. I've said it before, and I think it hurts wrestling fans that I don't watch the product. But it's like, to me, I don't want to see my ex-girlfriend, the love of my life, walking by with her new boyfriend, doing better. Hey, Maeve, this is Bobby.
Yeah.
He's so much better than you. I just don't want to see that every day. And it literally hurts to watch because, obviously I miss it, like we were talking about earlier. And obviously, I feel like there was more I had to give that I'll never have the chance to fulfill. And it's tough. That said, I am happy that the guys are making the money that they're making nowadays. I hope they're taking care of their body. I hope they're taking care of their finances. And I wish them all nothing but the best on all three, on WWE, AEW, and Impact. I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah, man. Well, if any of them were to call, would you pick up the phone?
I'm not an idiot. I'm never gonna say no to an opportunity. But then again, I don't see it happening. I don't it's just for whatever reason. I don't consider myself an asshole, but I never even got the call to do a Royal Rumble spot. And I would have thought at some point, maybe, they'll just throw me in the Rumble, and it never happened. I pissed somebody off along the way, Book.
Well, hey, man.
I'm going to say, though.
Go ahead.
That little plaque behind your right shoulder there, Maven, it might get you that phone call. You know what I mean? It might get you that phone call. It might get you that Rumble spot. You know what I mean?
Get in where you fit in. I'd have bought one years ago then.
Oh, man.
You get the rub, kid. You get the rub. You never know. Keep it rolling, man.
Okay. This is from the Will Meister. Maven, the other day I watched your match with Matt Cardona from a few months ago, and you said you're no Austin or Booker T. You look just as badass and was funny as them to me.
Oh man, that was I was doing Cardona. Cardona, like obviously he's still doing his thing on the indies, and he's probably bigger now than he's ever been. And for it's funny whenever somebody tells me like, I was such a fan of yours, when I was growing up. I'm like, listen, I'm not my favorite wrestler. So don't tell me I was your favorite wrestler. And but for Cardona, like I actually believe it because he's like he knew more about you. Talk about you don't remember your matches. He knew more about my stuff than I did. Wow. And so just years like him and Brian Myers really at my lowest point, like they really helped me just get my foot back in this business. And I'd literally lost everything, Book, and I was working in a bar bouncing. And they just so happened to come in, like literally my lowest point. And at the time of my life when, somebody recognizing me for wrestling, like I dreaded that because I didn't want people to correlate where I'd been to where I was at the time.
Yeah.
And, just they literally, they got me some work and, put me on their stuff. And yeah, so when he asked me to wrestle him in a match, absolutely. It's the same way I said yes a second after you asked me, the same with him. Absolutely, man.
Well, hell, man, we got a show coming up next month. And
you need somebody to sell hot dogs?
Hey, man, you never know. You know what I mean? You might get the itch. We got any more super chats, Brad? Get any more super chats?
Yeah, we do. This is from New South Wrestling. Says Booker is a great human being and a good brother. I want to support my good brother. Still working on that Castle show, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, most definitely, man. I appreciate you guys down there too at New South, man. I went down there. We had such a great time. Me and my main man, Matty Ice.
I echo.
Oh yeah,
I echo his sentiment. Book. You're a hell of a guy. You really are.
You know what? I appreciate you saying that, man, because it's been a lot of words said over the internet, and I need people like you to back me up as far as I don't feel like I was a bully or anything like that, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
I wasn't one of those guys that was trying to keep the young guys down.
Not at all.
I wasn't one of the guys that was spewing how bad the business was back in the day or anything like that.
Not at all.
I wasn't one of those guys that that was passive by any means.
Not Book. You were great. And if there was anybody that you could have been, and I hate the word bully, but we'll use it. If there's anybody you could have been a bully to, it would have been me when we wrestled our singles match that first time. And you weren't. I mean, what was it a I don't want to say, a tough match? Yeah. But for televised matches, that's what was demanded. You had to go out there and work hard, or you weren't going to be on television for long. And like I said, the moment we went through Gorilla, and I come up to you, and I'm like, because I was just so terrified to not give someone with your credentials a good match. And the moment I was like, hey, was it okay for you? And literally, your smile, you beamed, and your voice, yeah, dog, man, it was great, dog. And like literally, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, I had a good Christmas break, knowing because if we would have had a bad match, like I'd have been just worried. I'd have been literally sweating bullets the whole time. And you treated me fairly. I listened to you. I did what you said to do, and you gave me a fair shot. Anybody that says anything otherwise, that's why I hate what Bob, the way people view Bob. Bob gives everybody a fair shot, and you know what? Some people aren't going to live up to Bob's expectations. That's life, man. That's life. That is life.
I mean, you couldn't have said it better. I'm serious. I know we got some more super chats, Bear. We're just gonna have to keep them rolling. You're gonna have to edit.
Yeah. We just got a couple more.
Earn your money.
Got to. This is from Callie Toenail again. Maven, any hot chip / wing challenges in your future?
Man, I'm not I like to test myself, but not when it comes to eating. Yeah, because I know what the next day looks like. And no thanks on that.
Exactly.
This comes from Andrew, who said, Maven, you wrestled Masada on Heat. Did you know he became a deathmatch legend in Japan?
Well, I didn't. And I don't remember that match. Again, Book, you're probably the same. I have fans coming up all the time reminding me of matches I have, and I'm just like, sure, okay. I don't remember my catalog of matches. Obviously a few, like the one with you, I obviously remember, the bigger ones, but that one I don't. I'm glad I could give him the rub though.
Nah, man, I'm that same way, man. I don't remember matches at all. Like you say, only the big ones. I remember being in there with Steamboat, Perfect, stuff like that. Those matches, Ric Flair. I remember those matches like it was yesterday because those are my, the heroes, the legends of wrestling, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm in here actually doing this. I think that's still and really, really the certain matches that I remember, they had to have touched me in a certain way, and I had to have been working my butt off. So every match was like another role for me. I was getting the script, and I was going out there, and I was going to try to make it the best I possibly could, So for me, it was always like I say it still today. It was just work.
Yeah,
just work. Yeah. We got any more super chats, Brad?
Yeah, we got one more from Maven here that came in. This is from the Wheelmeister again, who said, I remember getting a copy of WWE Shut Your Mouth, booting it up and going to the teams and seeing a pre-made team called Booker T Maven. Were y'all ever a tag team? Well, we know y'all tagged once.
Yeah, that one time.
Yeah. And we got a big win too. We got a huge win.
Look, I watch that match every night before I go to bed.
Yeah, right. Like what an odd pairing. I mean, me and Matt Hardy and Mark Henry. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But there again, for me, it was always about getting the script and going out there and making the best of that night that I possibly could. I never have looked at this business anything other than me going out there and performing it and try to perform at the highest level and give those fans what they paid to see, which is a show. They want to have their imagination, suspended for a moment when they leave the house and come into those arenas. So for me, that's what it was all about. I was that kid going to that kung fu movie and leaving. So I want those kids to feel, So it was a hell of a ride for me, man.
Look, you asked earlier if you were a guy that took liberties, and my answer was no. I'll do you one better. You never was a guy that half-assed it. I don't care if it was a house show. I don't care what it was. You were one of those guys that were going to go out and you were going to give everything you had every match. I don't care which town it was in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm serious, man. I really do. I love that game, man. I love wrestling, man. I love performing. And all I was, being was just that kid that my sister and I used to be like at Christmas time and Thanksgiving. We used to be like the clowns. We used to dance. Yeah. But, we had a dance routine. And that's all it was for me, man. I found a way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I found a way out of this thing called life. And I said, when I got in the wrestling business, I said, man, they're going to have to kick me out. I'm done. I was like, will you get paid to do this? Well, how much? I was like, okay, I'll be in. You know what I mean? But it was an opportunity of a lifetime. I told Brad when he first started working with me, you said something earlier about it. And Brad came into my office and he had that boot-foot hairdo, right? And he slicked things that rosy cheeks because I think he had something going on. He just had some kind of seizure or something, right?
Bell's palsy, but it's okay.
He's like 18 years old, right? He's like, I want to get in the wrestling business, And I told him, well, look, you're a good-looking kid, but there's no money in this, okay? But it's I say, but it's a lot of opportunity, Boom. He's like, I'm in. He's freaking my partner there, man. And we go around the world. man. So opportunities knock, man. You got to know when to take them. You got to know when to
absolutely
go and take that knock, man. Know when to pick up the phone and take that call, man. Just like you did. You picked up the phone, took that call to step inside the Hall of Fame, to get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. And I just want to, I want to thank you, man, for coming on with us and being a special guest host here tonight, man. And get your socials out there, man, and let everybody know where they can find you and whatnot.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you guys for having me. Book. I'm a fan of whatever you're a part of. I'm a fan of. I will be making it out to the new Coliseum here shortly. Brad, it's been an absolute pleasure to work and stare at your hair for the last hour and a half. Find me YouTube, Maven Huffman. My name, Maven Huffman. No, Booker and I are not related. And I'm on YouTube, Maven Huffman, and on Instagram, same thing, Maven Huffman. That's it.
Oh yeah, man.
We put videos out every Friday at noon, so expect one tomorrow. I don't know what is coming out. I'm not a part of the editing team, but yeah, it's having fun with it.
Hey man, you're doing a hell of a job. Just keep up the good work, man. Just keep up the good work. And
I'm gonna ask you to be on I'm gonna ask you to do a video for me. So
bro,
be ready for that.
Man, just say, look here. I'm always available when I'm available.
Yeah, that's why I love you.
You can use that one. You can use that one right there too. But guys, go to make sure you check out the Twitter. Going to be announcing the winner of the contest. Someone will be coming to Reality Wrestling in December for our big Christmas chaos show. Looking forward to making you a honorary VIP member inside the arena, guys. So stay tuned for that. But always, like I say, we love you, Bradley, for all the heavy lifting. For all the heavy, you look like your shoulders got a little bigger. For all the heavy lifting, bro, I appreciate you. But right now, peace. We love you. We out.